right, we should be live. We should be live. And just so you know, I'm going to be doing a bit of standing up throughout this entire stream because this chair, well, it's slowly going down, and you will watch me get shorter and shorter. And every probably like 15, 30 minutes, I have to stand up just a smidge to let it back up so I can be at normal height. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. It's been a little bit since I've done any kind of content again. But again, if you were expecting consistent content, you chose poorly to subscribe to me and to expect me to do that. It's been a rough month. The work schedule has been hectic. Christmas week, and New Year's week. My audio is poop. Why is it poop? Why would it be poop? It sounded fine when I what do you mean, Vlad? What do you mean? Sounds hella low. It shouldn't, but we will really quickly check the sound settings. I can never remember how to do this because I have to actually go through what's it called? Properties. If I bring it up any further, I don't know what this is going to sound like. It's probably going to be interesting. So tell me if this sounds any better. It could actually be on the side of OBS, unfortunately. I kind of wonder. I think I turned in the program, my sound program. I think it might have to do with the compressor I put on. Okay, better? Cool. All right, so here we are. We got another Lolsuit. I was really, really, really hoping that the Lolsuit that I would start the year off with would be the not the end of the Andriacchio versus Karen Marie Yak's lawsuit. I was really hoping that would be it. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten a response to that or a decision from the judge as far as I know. I checked earlier today. Yeah, nothing. Okay. So nothing in there. The last thing filed was by Karen Yak's rebuttal to the motion for sanctions, which she should have filed, but that was on November 7th. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So, lawsuits, they seem to be coming up quite often. You got Maddox versus Dick Masterson. You know what? We're going to first one. Gonna bring it up. And again, I actually need to pop the base off the other chair I have because this was a replacement for the previous chair I had. It uses the exact same base, so I can pop that off. It's the hydraulic, apparently. Let's see. So Maddox versus Dick Masterson. You have I'd say Preston Poulter against Ethan Van Sciver, Dean Asif, and Victoria Kundert. I will say that I really want to see how that plays out now, because now that it's official that Ethan Van Sciver owns the trademark to Comicsgate, it actually causes some issues with his complaint where he claims to be the one who owns it. I'm not sure how that will be rectified. I'm not sure what they would have to do. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. It would be interesting to see if they have to redo it, because that's a material fact that they put in that isn't true. I'm not sure if the court will give leave to amend appropriately. I don't know. But you have that. But this lawsuit makes Maddox and Preston look competent by comparison. How do you own a copyright to a hashtag? Well, it's a trademark to begin with, but it wasn't a hashtag. Comicsgate was being used in like marketing and stuff, specifically by Ethan Van Sciver and his crew, but also by Preston Poulter, who wanted to destroy the trademark. Specifically said he was filing for the trademark specifically to destroy it, to hurt Ethan Van Sciver, and it failed. So now that that's happened and Preston continues to sell stuff with that trademark on it, it's something like per infringement $150,000 for trademark infringement, or up to $2 million for a willful infringement or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a bit. So that's what's going on there. But this guy makes them look like fucking legal scholars with his shit. We're going to get into it. It's not that long. I don't think this will be a long stream. Everything filed, everything put in this is not well written. In the case of Rekieta, it's because he was last minute. Not an excuse, but he did admit that he did it last minute. But Montagraph, it's bad. Is Peggy getting pegged again? Well, if this lawsuit he filed against Ethan Van Sciver specifically keeps going forward, yeah, and even if it doesn't, Ethan Van Sciver is going to push his countersuit because he has filed a countersuit against Preston for trademark infringement. He's going after him for millions. So, again, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Montepedo, yes, Montepedo. I have to state up front, I don't know much about Montagraph other than he is certifiably fucking insane. Guy is insane. Like, I don't know what's up with him. It's not even like a funny insane. He's just fucking insane. He's like the only person to have successfully raped a fruit. And I'm not talking about a gay person. I'm talking about a fruit, as in on the food pyramid, fruit. He raped a fruit. That's right. Only man in history to have been successfully, to successfully rape something you eat. And then, he made a snuff film about a child a couple years back when he tried to memory hole. He's actually suing Nick for making a comment about that. But yeah, so let's see what's been going on. Like, the small talk, Christmas week and New Year's week. I worked 80 hours a week. That was hell. And I'm still a little tired from that. What's up with your audio? I don't know what's up with my audio. If there's something up with my audio, I don't know what it could be. I don't want to do this, but I can. Because I think, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to really quickly. So what I'm going to do is, if it's that bad, what I'm going to do, 90. I'll get rid of the compressor. That might help. Let me know if that helps. I'm not sure if it will. I don't think it will. Of course, I kind of wonder now. Wondering now if maybe it's we'll do this. I'll have that right there. I'll have this over here. And if it's not sounding better, increase gain. I don't think it's okay. I'll turn it up to 100% over here, and we'll see what that sounds like. The problem is that I was watching that. It was like boom, all the way into the red. Okay, all right, I'm turning up the gain. Is that any better? I'm going to turn off desktop audio so that I can really quickly I can get an idea of how it sounds on my end. Way better. Perfect. All right. Look, I'm just emulating your video, where you were blowing out eardrums. I'm just, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. Vader Tax says, "No, what surprised me about this? The fact that it took someone 5 years to sue Rackets. They couldn't sue him for anything. Montagraph can't even fucking sue him for anything. Montagraph, we're going to go into that. So let's see, we had that. And then, actually, Vlad brought to my attention somebody I knew in passing was actually a fucking pedophile. Was actually a fucking pedophile. Okay. We should be good now. You know what? I'll bring it down to positive 10. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. I don't want to be. No, pedophile. No, pedophile. It was pedophile. He raped a 14-year-old. That's a pedophile. I'm not doing this hebephile shit. No, he's a pedophile. He raped 14-year-olds. As far as I'm concerned, that is a pedophile. Yes, a child predator, but also a pedophile. All right. So that was fun to deal with over Christmas. Brought that to AP's attention, Don's Paul, and whatever. What you gonna do, right? What you gonna do? Calling a pedo gives him a chance that he just likes kids. Child predator is more accurate. I mean, yeah, sure. In this sense, though, I am calling him a pedophile, as in somebody who has molested a child molester, child rapist. Somebody who should just be fed. Somebody who should just be fed feet first into a wood chipper is what it really comes down to. Let's see, we had that. That's really all that's happened over the past. So let's get back to the lawsuit. So Montagraph is just a crazy individual, conspiracy theories and all that shit, and nobody wants to deal with him. Nobody wants to fucking deal with the guy. He's certifiable. Okay, he's certifiable. And here we are, right? Here we are. We have a lawsuit now. He's actually filed a lawsuit against somebody on the internet. Not the first time. He has filed other lawsuits against people on the internet. He's been doing it since, he's a vexatious litigant. He's a frivolous litigant. And he's done it since the early 2000s. So we're going to be taking a look at what he's filed against Nick Rekieta. We're going to be taking a look at Nick's response. We'll be looking at the motion for default judgment that his attorney filed, not Rekieta's. Montagraph's attorney filed, and we'll be looking at an order that came down today on that motion. So let's get right into it. And I'm not using the Stream Deck right now because for some reason the Stream Deck has decided that, or the program has decided it does not want to play nice. So here we are. All right, so we got pulled up right here is the initial complaint. And this is the complaint from Montagraph against Rekieta. Now, obviously, disclaimer, not an attorney, not a lawyer. Do not take anything I say here as legal advice or anything even remotely close to that. I am some random nobody with a pre-law degree who, has a little bit of knowledge, and that's about it. Okay. So, plaintiff complains of defendants in each of them and for cause therefore or thereof states and alleges. Now, I have to say that I haven't read through all of it. I've read through the majority of it. But, the important things I have seen. Gilded poo, why semantics? I don't mean to bead, but both are bad and it wouldn't matter which to call them. Also, which predator screws a kid and hates kids at the same time? Leo, he's making a legitimate point. Pedophile, the dictionary definition, is an individual who is attracted to underage individuals, generally speaking, people who haven't hit puberty yet, children who haven't hit puberty yet, and hebephile is somebody who is attracted to underage, but they have hit puberty. I don't make a distinction. Feet first, the wood chipper, right? Whereas this guy actually was convicted. He pled guilty to raping a child. Raping a 14-year-old. So take that. I disagree with shooting pedos. Ammo's expensive, especially in Biden's America. We have more economical ways to deal with them, like rope, blade, blunt, or prison inmate, or the wood chipper. All right, so parties. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta resides in the city of Spicer City. I don't know why they do this. Maybe it's required under Minnesota law. County of Kandiyohi, state of Minnesota. He is an attorney licensed in the state of Minnesota and owner of a law firm called Rekieta Law, LLC, a limited liability company duly registered pursuant to Minnesota statute section 322C, also named as defendant, meaning Rekieta Law, LLC is being named as a defendant as well. Defendants maintain an office presence in the city of Owatonna, county of Steele, state of Minnesota, and also in the city of Spicer, county of Kandiyohi, and state of Minnesota. At all times relevant, defendant Nicholas Rekieta has resided in this county, state, at all times relevant, and in addition to practicing law, defendant Nicholas Rekieta, and on behalf of defendant Rekieta Law, LLC, has regularly produced videos posted on the internet where he discusses legal matters as well as matters unrelated to his law practice. Video production, as described herein, produces income for defendants. Could be an interesting thing because technically the YouTube channel is under a different LLC, registered in Texas, Rekieta Media. That could be an interesting jurisdictional argument if Nick wants to go that route. Doesn't the wood chipper need fuel? Well, whatever. I just feed first of the wood chipper. The plaintiff, Steve Quest, is an entertainer, no, artist, no, and video producer, yeah, okay, I'll give him that one, who resides in the state of Colorado. Historically, Steve Quest used the name Montagraph as a trade name for the services he offered and videos he creates. At all times relevant, Steve Quest, excuse me, at all times relevant, Steve Quest also uses the name Montagraph and Monty, derived from the name Montagraph, as well as October Rains as trade names and later as online screen names for video and computer productions. So there you go. That's giving you this information, right? Facts. At all times relevant, defendant Nicholas Rekieta created informative videos which he published using the name of defendant Rekieta Law, LLC. No. Rekieta Law, not Rekieta Law, LLC. Again, Rekieta Media in Texas. Jurisdictional question. And remember, he filed this in Minnesota State Court, right? In order to establish jurisdiction for a federal court, you would have to show diversity of jurisdiction, which easily could be done here, right? Could easily be done here. But also damages in excess of $75,000 without taking into account fees or interest and stuff like that. And I don't think he doesn't even allege $75,000. He alleges like $50,000 in damages, which I don't know where he gets that, but whatever. Okay. So you need those two things in order to establish jurisdiction for federal court. Now he's filed in Minnesota State Court because Nick is a resident of Minnesota. The law firm is registered in Minnesota. And if he tried to bring it over to Colorado, that's federal because Nick doesn't live there. He's willfully putting himself in the jurisdiction of Minnesota State Court. Okay. You know Nick will hone in on the Rekieta Law versus Rekieta Media difference. That's just lawyering 101. Yeah. Basically, he isn't just a pedo. He's the worst kind. Oh, we're talking about Tyro. Okay. Actually, Vlad, I may have one of his other names available. I may. I want you to listen to a recording I have of this other name and tell me if it sounds like Tyro. Okay. I'll get it to you later on, probably like over the weekend, but I think it might be him. And that'll be really fucking funny if it is. Okay, we go going on. In addition to offering legal advice and analysis, he does not offer legal advice. He can't offer legal advice. Analysis, yes. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta engages in hyperbole and comedy. If you're going to sue somebody for fucking defamation, the one thing you should not put in your facts One of the things is that the defendant engages in hyperbole and comedy, because now the judge goes, hold on, wait a second, hold up, wait a minute. Hyperbole and comedy? Could those not be defenses to a defamation claim? Could they? Could they not? Really bad call. Really bad call. It's a bold move to say yes. He's known for engaging in these things. It's a bold move, Cotton. See how it plays out. Upon information and belief, defendant Nicholas Rekieta writes, directs, produces, and appears in all such videos published using the name of defendant Rekieta Law LLC. Again, not Rekieta Law LLC. It's his channel. Rekieta Media LLC would be the LLC that the channel falls under. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta will also appear on shows hosted by others as a guest. All of these shows and productions are designed primarily for electronic publication via the internet. Some are recorded for later publication and some are live streamed, but all work is done for profit as they are accompanied by online advertising. Not all of them are accompanied by online advertising, and if they are, it may not be to Nick's at Nick's request. You know, the ads that run on videos, for example, you don't really get to pick and choose which ads you want to run. Not really. I mean, I know that some of my videos have had ads running. I don't see a cent from it because I don't make I on these channels, I don't meet the requirements to be in the what's it called? In the partner program. But I know some of my videos and streams have had ads run on them. So you can't hold that against me, kind of. But obviously, Nick is part of the partner program. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta will often appear with guests who make appearances from other physical locations, but all appear on a single screen. That has absolutely nothing to do with anything, but hey, whatever. Some of the discussions are characterized as law-splaining, where legal topics and lawsuits are explained while defendant Nicholas Rekieta drinks Scotch whiskey. Not always, but a startling amount of them, yes. At all times relevant, defendant Rekieta Law LLC is represented within these videos and appears in the form of stylized logo. Again, no, Rekieta Law is under the Rekieta Media LLC. And yeah, he's going to harp on. I guarantee he's going to fucking harp on about that. Defendants publish and post these videos and productions on YouTube, Rumble, and other hosting services. Defendants have engaged in false statements concerning plaintiff and published them, of which plaintiff and others have become aware. Plaintiff has resided in a number of states of the Union, including Colorado and Illinois. Despite not being a Minnesota resident, plaintiff has seen and heard these false statements from observing, watching, and listening to the videos published by defendants on the internet, where defendants know these videos and live streams can be seen anywhere in the world by anyone with computer access. Not really establishing that this is a Minnesota case. You're kind of establishing this might be a federal case. Bringing it into a federal court. Kind of making that argument. A little haphazard. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta has made statements about plaintiff knowing those statements were false. Does he know them, though? Does he know that they are false? Because what he said about you feasibly could be seen as true. Could be. Not saying they are, but they could be seen as true. And knowing that by making those false statements about plaintiff, he would cause plaintiff harm. At all times, defendant Nicholas Rekieta made false statements about plaintiff. He did so knowing those false statements would be published, defamatory, slanderous, libelous, and would cause plaintiff harm to his good name. He doesn't have a good name. Montagraph is schizophrenic. He tries to be the next, what's his name? Terry Davis with the conspiracy theories, hating the government, etc. But Terry Davis was lovable. He was a lovable rapscallion who brought a good thing to coding, whereas Montagraph is just fucking insane. Just insane. How does Monty have so many subs? This channel is lower effort than mine. I just looked. Because he's been here for like 20 years. He's been doing it for like 20 years. credit, he has no credit, and reputation. There is no saving your reputation, Monty. There are many such instances to reference, but 3 specific instances are described in paragraphs 6, 7, and 8 below. Yeah, he's one of those, yeah. Yes, Terry Davis brought us God's OS, Temple OS, and Montagraph brought us a video of him raping a watermelon and a snuff film with a child. On October 6, 2022, defendant Nicholas Rekieta was a guest on a live stream program called Megan Fox Investigates for an interview about why defendant Nicholas Rekieta was banned from YouTube. During this live stream, defendant Nicholas Rekieta made various false statements of his sexual nature about plaintiff. What statements? What statements did he make? See, when you come into something like this, you have to actually kind of spell out what you're alleging. You have to show something, right? You have to put it into the complaint. It can't just be like, go watch this video, even if it's timestamped. It kind of doesn't work like that. You have to put in what was said, even if you truncate it. And God help you if you lie when you truncate, Preston. Really bad idea. Okay. On October 13, 2022, defendants published a video in which another lawyer named Andrew Dadeski, also known as Legal Mindset, Mindset being doxed here, appeared as a guest. During the published video stream, defendant Nicholas Rekieta accused plaintiff of disgusting crimes against children, pedophilia, then stated plaintiff, quote, should probably be shot in the fucking head, end quote. You're getting better. You're getting better. On October 18, 2022, defendants published a video with several guests who were named as lawyers, Stephen Gosney, Sean Martin, and Kurt Mueller, serving as a panel, where a meme of guns, AK-47s, pointed at plaintiff's head, accompanied by defendant Nicholas Rekieta making false statements about plaintiff. That's not defamation. You don't allege defamation. You say they made a meme, and they said mean things. That's not defamation. That's really not a defamation claim that you could bring. You did good in 8. You could make an argument for 8 that he said something, that he's saying that Nick said this. But in the other 2, he's saying, oh, he made general statements. No quotes. Not a good look. Not a good look. Count 1, defamation and defamation per se. Plaintiff alleges each and every claim, allegation, and paragraph herein and further complains. Defendants, through managers, administrators, and officials acting on behalf of defendants within the scope of their employment, including defendant Nicholas Rekieta, caused to be published to third persons with no privilege, false and defamatory statements as alleged above, to wit, that plaintiff engaged in criminal conduct, is a pedophile. Being called a pedophile is not necessarily defamatory. I would point to the case against Elon Musk, where Elon Musk called the Australian scuba diver who went into, what was it? Was it Thailand or Vietnam? I can't remember. Cambodia. It's Southeast Asia. And he got the children who were trapped in a cave for like 12 days or something like that out. He called him a pedophile. Don't remember why, don't really care, but the guy brought a lawsuit against Elon Musk, and the jury came back and said, that's not defamation. It's not really defamation. Probably not going to fly. Pervert, again, not really defamatory, and whose life is worthless and should be ended. You can't really go after somebody for saying something where the truth is an absolute defense. I'm just saying. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta was working and acting in the scope of his employment enterprise as a creator and producer of videos that were published for profit when he defamed plaintiff. Defendants published the aforesaid defamatory statements with knowledge of the falsity and with malice. He doesn't know it's false. I mean, I say shit all the time about people. I say shit about Vlad all the time. I don't know if it's true or not, right? I said stuff about Vlad. I've said stuff about a bunch of people. Most of the time in jest, right? I'm not going out there to be an asshole normally. So, probably not. Not going to work. In wanted disregard of the truthfulness, how can he have knowledge of the falsity with disregard of the truthfulness? Or effect upon plaintiff? I'm trying to wrap my brain around that. I know it makes sense, but I'm trying to wrap my brain around it. Or effect on plaintiff, and or with reckless indifference to the effect of such publication upon plaintiff, all of which was reasonable foreseeable to defendant Rekieta Law, LLC. The problem is that Nick is really just rebroadcasting, I guess you could say, what has been said for years on Montagraph's Kiwi Farms page. I can't remember if Montagraph's gone after Kiwi Farms and it's been shut down. I don't. I want to say he tried something and it failed splendidly, but I could be wrong. A reasonable person under similar circumstances who received these defamatory publications would undoubtedly construe the false statements by defendant Rekieta as repeatedly imputing criminal conduct involving moral turpitude upon plaintiff. Pedophilia is not a crime. Perversion is not necessarily a crime. I don't think he ever claimed that Montagraph sexually assaulted a child. I think he just called him a pedophile. Again, pedophilia, not really a crime. It would be a perversion, but not a crime. So that's probably not going to fly. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's malicious and defamatory statements with respect to plaintiff personally, plaintiff's employment, business, and profession have suffered damage. I guarantee you they haven't. His reputation in his profession and in the community have suffered. No, that's not going to fly either. Everybody knows what kind of a piece of shit Montagraph is. Everybody, even somebody like me who doesn't really know him, knows what kind of a piece of shit Montagraph is. And plaintiff continues suffering loss of standing and opportunity for growth. You've been on the internet for like 20 years. Bro, your content is more low effort than mine. Your content is more low effort than Gilded Poo. It is usually just you talking to your camera about some new glow-in-the-dark CIA gamer words and how you hate the government. No. No. As a direct and proximate result of defendants' mean-spirited, amoral, and illegal actions, legal? Mean-spirited, absolutely. Definitely. Words and deeds, slander, libel, and false statements, plaintiff has suffered from distress, humiliation. You literally put out the video of you making out and finger fucking a watermelon. You literally cannot claim that as humiliation, embarrassment. You're the one who put it out. You're the one who made a video, a snuff film involving a child. You can't claim humiliation and embarrassment from that because Nick makes mention of it. You're the one who put it out. It's like all these fucking thoughts in Nick's locals chat who post their sagging tits and pasty white asses of pictures. Right? Sally takes pictures of her not having an ass backside in her own daughter's room, which she admitted to, by the way. I don't want to hear this shit from Sally or one of these other fucking retards, okay? That she never said that. She did. We have the screen cap caught in 4K. Okay? Okay? But they were talking about going after Alyssa for clipping shit and laughing at them. They were talking about going after Claire Bear for the exact same fucking shit. Okay? That's what this is. Okay? You can't claim humiliation when you're the fucking retard who put it out there. Hate to break it to you. And if you want a false flag, go right the fuck ahead. You dumb twat. Excuse me. Excuse me. This is pent-up anger, by the way. I've got a cold right now. This is the joys of working with the public now. I'm getting sick like a motherfucker. I'm scared of his locals. His locals is just degenerate as fuck, which is fine. I don't care. Okay? Also, I just want to put this out there. I know people have been saying Nick didn't disavow and tell people not to false flag Alyssa. He absolutely fucking did. He told them not to. Okay, people are getting pissed because it wasn't the way they wanted him to. Nick has made it very fucking clear, and he hasn't strayed from that. Yeah, I got rid of locals. He gets too distracted by that chat. Yeah, he did. He did. No, he didn't. He absolutely fucking did, Alyssa. He literally told them, don't fucking do it. Don't do it. He said that for years. He said it for years, Alyssa. And you know that. You know that. You know he's not going to fucking support that shit. He's told them not to. He literally said don't do it in the same way that he's told people in the Discord not to go after people who are going after him or going after me for criticizing him. It is the exact same fucking thing. Not this time, which is why people have he gives the exact same response that he gives when other people have said it, right? He gave the exact same response. Don't do it. It's stupid. It's gay. Don't fucking do it. No different than 2 years ago when people were saying that they wanted to go after me for putting out a screenshot of T-Man, right? They wanted to go after me for posting something from the Discord. Or they wanted to go after somebody else who was criticizing him because they're posting from the Discord. Because we pay to be in here. It's private. No, it doesn't work like that. Oh, shit. Montagraph is in here. You pull soul. The actress in The Umbrella Guy is a woman, dumbass. Talk about a watermelon, you fucking retard. Oh, shit. Montagraph is here. Oh. I'm pretty sure that was... we're not talking about that. I don't care about that. The Umbrella Man, I don't care about that. I'm pretty sure we're talking about a watermelon that you finger fucked. Because you can't tell people what to do. No, you can't. No, I didn't, dumbass. Okay. Okay, Monty. Anyways. He made no difference. He didn't change anything. It's just like when people on Kiwi Farms are saying he needs to disavow Ralph, right? He needs to disavow Ralph. He needs to disavow Dick Masterson. That's not how Rackets operates. That's not how Rackets operates. You tell people that, and no, he has to because we want him to. He has to do something different because we want him to. Listen, he gave you the exact same treatment that he gave other people. I'm not having this argument with two people who weren't even there. Don't worry, I'll bring it to the Discord. Don't you fucking worry. Don't you fucking worry, Alyssa. I'll bring it to the Discord. This drama will carry over past the stream. You idiot, you're slandering me too, stupid. Actually, fun fact. If what I was saying was defamatory, it'd actually be libel. Because even though I'm speaking it, it's in a permanent medium. It's a weird thing. I don't think it's actually been really litigated-ish. But I believe maybe it was a case where court did make this differentiation, where because YouTube is considered a permanent media, much like print, this would be considered libel, not slander. I'm not giving you shit for this. This is one of those things that not a lot of people understand. I'm not giving you shit for not knowing that. Not a lot of people understand that. Okay, this is one of the few times I'm not giving you shit. F you, pussy. Get your facts straight first, dummy. Oh, my feelings would be hurt if I gave a shit what a fucking man who raped a watermelon says. I'm just saying. I hope you start a fire and take a nap in it. Oh, NCM, that's not nice. That is legitimately. I'm not gonna. It's not good. I'm not gonna. Holy shit. Give me it. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Fuck. See, here's the thing is I have this screen over here. And I'm capturing the screen. And I meant to come over here. Sorry, I just wanted to pass something. I don't care. I want Monty to stay. The case is about him. Yeah, the case is about him. The actress name is Vicky Miller. I don't care. Interview her, tough guy. I don't even know. Hold on. Let me go down to my fridge and grab a fucking watermelon. I'll interview it. I'm just saying. Okay. Ugh. Chat got spicy all of a sudden. Jesus. That's spicy. I like spicy. Give me 1 sec, sorry. Get out. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-boo. Itchy nose. Sorry, I'm doing like 5 different things. The actress of The Umbrella Man is Vicky Milwer. She is currently in Denver County. She's in her late 40s now. Okay. Anyways, where was I? Does anybody remember what I just... Oh. Plaintiff has suffered from distress, humiliation, embarrassment, loss of reputation, loss of enjoyment of life, lost income, wages, money, and plaintiff has incurred attorney's fees and expenses and other serious damages. Income, wages, I guarantee you no. Guarantee you no. But hey, whatever. I mean, this, as I said, this complaint makes Preston Poulter's or Maddox's complaints look competent by comparison. Want to make that very fucking clear. Plaintiff realleges each and every claim allegation. Monty, I just have to say right now, my favorite part of your complaint really is up here when you put in the facts, right? This facts part. In addition to offering legal advice and analysis, defendant Nicholas Rekieta engages in hyperbole and comedy. You know, 2 things that would make it so that's not defamation or would provide a defense. Probably not the smartest thing to ever fucking do. Just saying, I certainly would not have put that in the facts because now the judge's going to look and they go, oh, it's a fact. And I think, it's probably not a good... Oh, do I want my martini dry or neat? No, I like ice. We'll go with neat. Yeah, we'll go with neat. Read all of the doc first, genus. Okay, first off, genus has to do with, like, biology. I think you meant genius, of which you are certainly not. Okay, where are we? Intentional infliction of emotional distress. And this one always makes me fucking chuckle. I always have a chuckle when I see intentional infliction of emotional distress. I'm gonna quote I'm gonna paraphrase rather a man, a wiser man than anybody here. How is cyberbullying real? Just turn off the computer screen. I'm just saying. Monty, you'll be lucky if the judge doesn't throw this out. He's going to be lucky if the judge doesn't legally require him to be kicked in the nuts several times for wasting the court's time. No, because you are bacteria spreading false info. That's not how bacteria works. Sir, that is... Tack, don't you ever... I time him out! Time Tack out for that, you fucking asshole. So in Minnesota, can the defendant recoup legal fees? I would assume he can. You know what? That's a good question. I would assume he can. If it's a frivolous lawsuit, he might have to file like a countersuit. You are mad because I am proving you are wrong. Montagraph, you're not proving me wrong. You're proving you're a fucking idiot. Okay? When a dog pisses on a fire hydrant, it's not committing vandalism. It's just being a dog. Now, taking that to you, when you act like a fucking retard, you're not being ironic. You're just being who you are. Monty, he's reading your fucking filing. This garbage is your doing. Yeah. The actress was a female adult. Stupid. I'm not saying she wasn't an adult. I just want to make this very clear. I'm not saying she wasn't an adult. kind of looked a little young, right? It's kind of like in Australia, right? For those who don't know, because my degeneracy goes about this far, Australia has a minimum cup size for female porn stars because they don't want to encourage pedophilia and child porn. Kind of the same thing. I have seen the document. Nick shouldn't be worried once Nick hires the correct lawyer. Okay, I'm gonna go into this. I'm giving some evidence to support what I said previously, and Alyssa knows what I'm about to say. The reason that this was filed pro se instead of by Randazza, twofold. One, Nick could have had Randazza drafted. Well, he could. Let me back up. Right now, Randazza is being pro hocked in. He's not licensed to practice in Minnesota. To do that, he would have to go through what's called pro hoc vice, which is finding a local attorney who will say, yeah, I talked about this. This guy's good. He's good. And then Randazza gets basically uses that attorney as local counsel for the case. I feel very confident in saying, based on some information and belief that I have, that that's what's going on right now. Nick has paid the retainer, and it's kind of in this nebulous position where he's retained. But he hasn't appeared because they're still going through this. I said this a couple of days ago on Alyssa's video. I have some information now, some evidence to support that claim. The second thing is, even if Randazza was in, why would you respond to specifically why would you have him file, pay 4 or 5, God knows how much for 2 hours of work to draft the motion for an extension? Okay. Why would you? So again, I'm just saying, I know that there's been a lot of things out there about, Randazza's not representing him and stuff like that. It's based off of understandably weird kind of back and forth comments made by Rekieta. I'll grant you that. But the most obvious concept that was in there that was actually briefly touched on, maybe not directly, but when Nick said, he doesn't practice in Minnesota, should have been a tip-off. Right, it's a procedure. It's not a procedural issue. It's why would Nick, who is an attorney in Minnesota, why would you pay $1,000 for your lawyer to file it when you could just in 30 minutes write up your own motion for, right, and do it that way? I'm just saying. Again, I have some evidence to back it up. I have some support to back it up, I should say. And I'm glad I thought of that because I seem smart now. But in all seriousness, I kind of want to get sued. Seems all the cool kids are doing it these days. Big boss, I have filed lawsuits and I have been sued. I have won in every case. It's not fun. Even when you're the one filing the lawsuit, it's not fun. And when you are sued, it's even worse. Try not to go too out there, Monty. This case is yours to lose just based on Nick's history with your judge. I don't think that's gonna be a thing. I don't think that's gonna be too much of an issue. Let me see. But Australia's a fake country anyways. Yeah, well, fake country and they want fake boobs, so take that as you will. Let me see. She's alive and well, idiot. There's never been any snuff film, dumbass. You tried to delete it, but a copy exists. At least one copy. I'm going back to read over chat, by the way. Bring on Monty live to speak for himself. Jesus Christ, no. No, I might have enough alcohol to deal with that autism. Might. I still have a bottle of Crystal Head vodka. I do have a bunch of orange juice. I might have enough to deal with that. No promises on that, though. Anyways. No one gives a flying fuck about who the actress was. Yeah, true. Hey, Monty, you are showing everyone that you are a sad, irrelevant man paying money for clout. We can all see the sham suit is a ploy for clout. I think that's exactly what this is. It's a clout chasing. I think that's what it is. He's always gone after people who are larger than him for attention. You're trying to break into the porn industry. Jesus Christ, I hate you already, Yoda. Because this filing is ensuring you're going to be rode hard and put up wet. I might have to get that alcohol. Thank you. Thank you. Fuck you. I'll prove it, Monty. I need proof of life. Monty is Joe Biden's nephew. That explains the sniffing and gayness. That's... I don't know who to feel worse for in that insult, Joe Biden or Monty. Like 6 of one, half dozen of another. Careful, Alyssa, you'll get sued. Procedural issues. The extension is literally for Rekieta to retain counsel. The extension was for answering. But yes, to retain counsel. No, Alyssa has a shield over her. Don't know what that means. I kind of want to get sued. I already answered that. I mean, there are obstacles right now. Yeah, there are. Why? It's not his channel. If he wants to be heard, he can do a video. See how that goes. He can say all he wants. Are you trying to break into... Oh, I already read that one. Can you tell us why you fucked a melon? Irish court isn't U.S. court. It absolutely is fun. I mean, unless... Okay, Big Boss, I'm telling you right now, if Irish court is like I think it is, that could be really... If there's a lot of drinking, because it's Ireland, the land of my people, I would be there. I'd want to be sued all the time. But not if it's like just Jameson. If it's like bad whiskey and shit, no, I don't want that. Are you saying Montagraph Live fucked a special needs person? No, Yoda. An actual watermelon. Montagraph fucks melons because other humans don't want to be near him. Sue me. I am just quoting what is being read. Or being written. Don't be a coward, Spectre. It's not cowardice. I just don't have... I don't think I have the tolerance for it right now. I'm sick. I'm tired. Let's see. Why don't you sue Josh over your thread unless you're scared? I think he tried to. NCM, I'm pretty sure he tried to. I'm fairly certain he tried to, and it got thrown the fuck out. Like, it was dismissed before trial. Be a man, get a good scotch, like a Lafroy or Lagavulin. I'm not a scotch guy. I'm just not I'm not a hard liquor guy. I'm just not. Guinness, love me some Guinness. It's liquid bread. My carbs are good. I am busy right now. He must wait his turn. Are you a cantaloupe or a watermelon guy? What gets your ED affected schlong to half staff? By the way, in the early 2000s, the U.S. government passed a law requiring porn producers to provide and keep proof of a performer's age. Yep. Didn't Nick himself say he's pro se right now? So, yes, he's pro se right now. As I said, he's paid the retainer for Randazza. My theory, and there is some support behind it based on things Nick has said himself publicly on a stream, but I believe he's being pro-hucked and he's still going through that. I'm not sure if Minnesota has a rule against an attorney who is the defendant being allowed to pro-huck in the attorney involved that's representing them. I don't know, but it might be something so rare that the judiciary and legislature don't have anything on the books about it. I don't know. I honestly don't. I would think there would be something that would just be common sense, but I think it's just so fucking rare that nobody would think of it. So for the extension request only. Jameson isn't bad. Can't beat it for the price. Oh no, you can't beat it for the price. And I admit, I like Jameson cold brew. It's pretty good. It's smooth and tasty and cheap. Sure, it's no fine scotch, but I don't always need that. No, it's not. Montagraph, wrong. Okay. He said he's acted pro se, but he has retained counsel. No opportunity for his lawyer to appear. Yes, he again, I think, aside from the pro-hawk part, what Nick has filed already literally could have been drawn up in like 30 minutes. Why pay your attorney $500-600 to draft that up when you can do it yourself? Makes, I might do something similar and I'm not an attorney. He said he's acting pro. Stop making shit up. When I start making shit up, I will stop just for you. What are you going to do about it? Crying to stream and file a laughable lawsuit? Run away. Monty is angry. He said Randazza doesn't handle these procedural issues while live, but Randazza would be handling everything after the fault judgment stuff is worked out, or extension, whichever it is. As I said, Alyssa, I would point to the fact that there is still no pro-hawk stuff filed in this lawsuit. There is still no motion to appear. There is no pro-hawk. There is no payment of the fee for pro hawking in. I'm just saying that that's what it looks like to me. And based on a couple of things I've seen, I think there's a good case to be made on that. But again, not attorney, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oops, I pushed the wrong button. No, Daryl, I am not. I think you're absolutely correct on that as well. Just going off of what he said. Oh, I'm not saying that you didn't hear that correctly. I know that's what he said, right? And I think that was kind of like where you and I were having that conversation. I was trying to make my pro hawk case. You were like, no, this is what he said. I'm saying, look, I think it's a little column A, a little column B, right? And then it's like, and then I thought about it. I'm like, why would you pay a couple $100 to have your attorney write up something like this, right? I'm just saying this is my opinion based on things I've seen. I know what he said, but I think a lot of what he said is being misinterpreted or misconstrued or just blown out of proportion to push a narrative, not by you, Alyssa, not by you, but other people, to push this narrative. I don't like it, but hey, what are you going to do? You got my pronouns wrong. Refer to me as your daddy. Not, no, no, not okay with this. No. I'm not playing matchmaking service here, Yoda. I will have you timed out for that. I don't need that. I don't need that degeneracy. Take that to Nick's Locals chat. Let's see. As a direct approximate result of defendants continuing wrongful conduct, baseless accusations, and false statements, defendants have caused plaintiff to suffer severe emotional distress and trauma that no reasonable person could be expected to endure. But you're not a reasonable person. Don't think that works. The course of defendant's wrongful conduct was so extreme and outrageous that it goes beyond all possible bounds of decency. No, you haven't seen him go beyond the bounds of decency. And is utterly intolerable in a civilized society and within the state of Minnesota. No. Oh, now I want to see what he retracted. Now I'm sad. I wanted to see what he retracted. Also, I'm just going to say this right now. I'm not going to ask Montagraph anything about his case because I'm kind of like Nick in that regard, that I'm not going to try and torpedo his case. I'm going to completely allow him to do that himself. Monty, you're like 80 fucking years old, and the best you have is like pussy and sissy and stuff like that. Look, you overused prison fuck toy. It was a sad day when you managed to crawl out of the fucking abortion bucket after the doctor slam dunked you head first into it. Okay? That's how you insult somebody creatively. Okay? Up your game. Please. I don't like looking at chat and seeing, well, you're a sissy, you're a pussy, you're like 80 fucking years old. Improve your vocabulary. Improve your ability to fucking insult somebody. Okay? Monty, there is, right now, somewhere in this world, a tree tirelessly producing oxygen, which you get to consume. You need to fucking find it, and you need to apologize profusely for wasting its time. Is upset because he was touched when he was young. No, I was nowhere near you, Montagraph, so I wasn't touched when I was young. Isn't that right, Fatso? Hey, I've lost weight. I'm down to 200. I'm very proud of myself. It would be at least entertaining for Montagraph Live to dye his hair black. It'd be a stunt double for Steven Seagal. Not sure who to feel more insulted for, Steven Seagal or Montagraph in that one, so we'll just call it a draw. Negligent. That's not how you spell that word. Infliction of emotional distress. I know more about you than that your mama. Okay. Monty, I'm not afraid of you. Good work, Spectre. I do good work. As a direct, so we're getting on to negligent infliction of emotional distress. Plaintiff realleges each and every claim, blah, blah, blah. As a direct approximate result of defendant's wrongful conduct, mean-spirited words and deeds, defendants engaged in a direct invasion of plaintiff's rights by their slander, libel, and other... What rights did he infringe upon? You still get to speak. I don't think you can legally own a gun because you're fucking insane. Do be upset when I respond. If you're going to respond, that just shows, like, whatever. I don't care. Wanted or malicious conduct which caused plaintiff to reasonably fear for his life. Montagraph's in fear for his life from Rekieta making jokes at his expense. You are a bitch. I'm about to be slinging weight slurs while chomping on a mouthful of room temperature shrimp. Ugh. I'm allergic to shellfish, so I don't know what shrimp tastes like, but room temperature shrimp? Ew. Ew. Defendant's actions, words, and deeds cause plaintiffs to suffer severe mental and emotional distress. No, that's the alcohol your mother drank while you were in the womb that caused that. Contributed to your mental retardation. As a direct approximate result of defendant's legal actions, there's nothing illegal with what he said. Words and deeds, plaintiff has suffered distress, humiliation, embarrassment, loss of reputation, loss of enjoyment of life, none of that is true. You're fucking lying in your complaint, you lying sack of shit. Fuck typos, they always follow me. Yeah, well, whatever. Wherefore, plaintiff specifically prays that the practices of defendants complained of herein be adjudged, decreed, and declared in violation of the rights secured by plaintiff by the laws of the state of Minnesota. Whatever. That defendants be required to make plaintiff whole and that a permanent prohibitory injunction be issued. That's not going to happen. Prohibiting defendants from engaging in the practices complained of herein. Probably not going to happen. The plaintiff is awarded compensatory damages in an amount to be established at trial. That judgment be entered against the defendants in the sum of excess of $50,000, together with his costs, interest, and disbursements, and attorney's fees, and grant such other and further relief as it deems fair and equitable. The standard, whatever. So yeah, plaintiff demands trial by jury. I want you to go through trial by combat. That at least be fucking interesting. That would actually be pretty fucking funny. Just saying. It'd be pretty fucking funny to see that shit. That'd be pretty. I think that would be pretty funny, personally. I think it would be. All right, so we're going to get over to his next filing. I heard there's tisms going on in here. There are always tisms going on in my chat. He's deleting his comments. Yeah, unfortunately, I get a copy of everything he's retracted. And you know what? I may submit it to Nick. Since I get a copy of anything he's posted, and they're retracted, right? I get a copy of it. That might be something I want to submit to Nick. Ooh. Oof. All right, so let's go to this. This is the memorandum in support of default judgment because, this is the only way he's going to win. A watermelon lover is sweeping up his droppings. Yep. Yes, he is. He do be sweeping those droppings up. He do be sweeping them up. This is good coffee, by the way. There's not as much Kahlua in it, but it's pretty good coffee. I'm not gonna lie. Shouldn't have told him, rookie. I'm just saying. Look, you can. I'm not saying I'm going to give it to Nick. I'm not saying that. Anyone can pull the chat log. Old Tech, then why are you deleting your comments? So you can go, oh no, it doesn't exist. So let's read over this. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta, through his law firm, Rekieta Law LLC. Again, it's not through his law firm. It's the Rekieta Media LLC, which is what the YouTube channel falls under, not Rekieta Law LLC. Again, I fully expect Nick to harp on about that. I left one crybaby. Yes, you're a crybaby. This lawsuit proves that. You're a bitch. You're a bippity-boppity bitch. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta, through his law firm Rekieta Law LLC, produces videos, engages in live streaming, and publishes on the internet. Such publications often also referred to as a podcast. No, it'd be referred to as a stream, not a podcast. A podcast would be like Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan Experience. That would be a podcast. Distractable would be a podcast. One of the things that I do would be a podcast. But no, he streams. In a number of such episodes, he has defamed the plaintiff, Steve West. Despite being asked to retract defamatory comments, the defendant has persisted into the present day, continues defaming, indeed taunting plaintiff. I would taunt as well. I'm just saying, I would. Plaintiff retained counsel, and a complaint was served upon defendant with a summons by the Kandiyohi County Sheriff on 12 December. The period of time for defendant to answer, 20 days, expired. The 22nd, actually. Actually, it would have been the 23rd. He would have had until the 23rd. Defendant has not answered the complaint, is now in default as described in Minnesota Rules of Civil Procedure 55.01, pursuant to 5501B. Plaintiff prays for an order from the court finding defendant's failure to answer the complaint within the time required by law as is the basis for default judgment against defendant. Okay, so he's saying that because he didn't answer, he should be in default, and he should be, right? That's kind of like, that's a common thing. It was embarrassed that he was proven wrong. I wasn't proven wrong by anything. Monty, just because you say somebody's wrong doesn't make them wrong. I know it's trying to go through your head. I understand that what I'm saying goes through one ear and literally out the other because there's nothing stopping it in your fucking head. Okay? If you were to start a shotgun, it would do no permanent damage to you because there's nothing in there to damage. Okay? I understand you don't understand that. Look at the archive, 50. I'm just saying. Undisputed facts. Is Montagraph live deleting his own post so he doesn't believe himself enough to stand by his words? Man, stand for something. Yeah. I'd call Monty a lot of things, but pedo isn't one of them. That's just me, though. I'm not saying he's a pedo. I'm just saying there's quite a few things that you could draw an inference, whether right or wrong, whatever. I am saying that he is a danger to the local farmers market and all produce located therein. Oh, yeah, Vlad, it's still here. He's still here. I'm excited. Defendant offers legal opinions over the internet on video programs. At least your attorney was able to unfuck that and did not say that he offers legal advice. You're improving. Points for improving. On video programs he creates and publishes. Members of the general public may access these videos using computers, cell phones, tablets, etc. connected to the internet. According to the Minnesota Secretary of State, defendant is a resident of the county, although he also has a business presence in Owatonna. He brought his fans as well. Just because Monty is a menace to watermelon patches doesn't make him an evil person. It doesn't make him an evil person. Just keep him away from literally any farm. The animals will be fine. The produce, not so much. At all times relevant during these videos, live streams, and podcasts, there was no podcast, defendant will discuss law, usually along with other lawyers and those interested in particular legal subjects who also appear in the video. Other viewers and guests send questions and comments to defendant during live presentations that defendant reads aloud and responds to. He really doesn't do that anymore. He's such a goddamn liar on that one. In recent years, plaintiff Steve Quest, a Colorado-based artist and video producer, became the object of defendant's scorn and contempt. It's not really scorn and contempt. Okay, Monty, I want to make this very clear. Nick and I are friendly. What he said about you, he said similar shit to me. That's how men bond. That's how we treat each other. Guys rib on one another. Guys shit on one another because it's assumed that a guy can take light ribbing. Okay? Nick didn't say you molested a child. Nick didn't say you did anything improper with a child. Okay? How it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Watermelon Lover contact Raggets because Jim appeared on his show years ago? Yeah, I think so. I think he did. Go eat your crayons. I am drinking coffee, and I'm making chicken dumplings in the crock pot. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Plaintiff appears in videos using the online handle of Montagraph. Upon information to believe, you're using Montagraph Live, so you lied. You're a goddamn liar, Monty. Upon information to believe, defendant and plaintiff have never met. However, it is apparent defendant does not like plaintiff's art and does not like the video productions created by plaintiff. Nobody does. Nobody likes that. At some point in time, defendant's contempt for plaintiff culminated in defendant making defamatory comments during live stream performance. Plaintiff became aware of critique, commentary, and defamation. Critique, commentary. Ooh! That's not good to put in there. Critique, commentary. Ooh, probably a bad idea. And defamation with others using the internet viewed defendant's productions and notified plaintiff of same. You mean you saw it? You saw it. Upon information of belief, defendant enjoys over 500,000 subscribers. Less. Which suggests that any time 500,000 people may receive defamatory comments published by defendant against plaintiff. That's not how that works, but okay, we'll let you go with that. Attached to the affidavit of David W. Schneider are references to episodes where defamatory comments by defendant against plaintiff are recorded. You probably should have included, anything literally from those episodes to bolster it, in your complaint, but you didn't. Monty made torture porn fetish films and did not get the required documentation to prove the age of all performers in his films. Ooh. Oh. Oof. They are marked as Exhibit B. The defamation by defendant is self-explanatory and best evidence of defamation. However, plaintiff notes 3 specific instances, and he goes back to those 3 where the second one is the only one that he might have a case because he actually mentioned something specific. The other 2, not so much. Rather than retract his defamatory statements, discontinue mean and hurtful speech. Nope. Discontinue mean and hurtful speech? Get fucked. Get fucked. I'm sorry. Hold on. Who's Forrest Jameson? Is that the new name that he's come up with for Vicky Miller? I don't know. I don't care. Anyways. Or simply changing the subject of conversation moving away from plaintiff. Defendant continued and has doubled down even to present day. For instance, on January 11, 2023, defendant called plaintiff a retard on yet another such live stream. Calling a retard is not defamatory. It is stating it's not defamatory. Calling a retard is not defamatory. It can never be defamatory. Ever. After defendant refused to retract, plaintiff retained a lawyer and summons and complaint was served upon defendant. A true and correct copy of the summons and complaint along with affidavit of service is attached. Marked as Exhibit C, blah, blah, blah. To date, no answer has been filed upon plaintiff. Defendant is not in the armed forces subject to the protections of the Service Member Civil Relief Act. Now here's where it gets fun because now they fucked up. I mean, technically Nick fucked up too, but on or about December 30th, 2022, defendant called the office of Schneider and Madsen and requested an extension of time to retain a lawyer. He probably should have done that sooner. I'll grant you that. He should have. But he does show that he was trying to work with them. On or about the same time, he sent an email to David Schneider, your author, requesting extension to answer until January 31st. In neither communication, the defendant denied the factual allegations. Why would he? Filing a general a general denial probably would be a really bad idea. He could do it, but you end up like denying your own name or that you're an attorney, which is like things you don't want to do. So, okay, you know what, Monty, if you're spamming my chat and you're going to keep retracting the messages, I'm going to time you out. So you can stop. Okay. So the attorney, did not respond to defendant's phone calls or email, in part because the author was not present in the office from 28 December to January 9th. Extension to answer was not granted. Nick was not made aware that he wasn't available. I'm still trying to figure out what Monty is playing. You know what? I'm going to let you calm down, Monty. I'm going to let you calm down. I'm going to put you in timeout for 5 minutes. And hopefully you can go take whatever medication your doctor's prescribed for you and, come back and be just a little, or you'll hop on another account because you can't curb your fucking autism and go from there. That's fine. But he's saying that, yes, Nick did call and requested extension. Now it should, yep, there it is. Called it. You don't get to come in when I've timed you out on another account and then act like I'm not going to ban that account. Doesn't work. I'm just saying. Okay, so now here's the question. And Alyssa could probably answer this. When did Nick, do you remember when Nick said he had attorney and then when he said he didn't, he was filing pro se? Do you remember when he said that? Because I'm pretty sure it was after the December 30th call. Pretty sure it was after that. Fairly certain it was after that. Yes, 1 second, I have it clipped. I'm just wondering if you have the date. Okay, it was last week. Okay, so I thought it was last week. Okay, so that doesn't, so one of the things that I've seen floated around is that his attorney could have been confused because Nick said he was represented and then was saying he was filing pro se. And there could have been some confusion there. And, I could believe that. I could agree with that. But this didn't happen until a couple weeks later. Doesn't really work. So that doesn't fly. And the fact that the attorney pretty much told him to fuck off, didn't respond to something that, quite frankly, a court would be like, why didn't you respond? He's trying to work with you. You had no reason to ignore him. Your secretary didn't tell him that you were out of the office or anything. He emailed, he called, nothing about your location, that you're out of the office. It's during the holidays. There's an expectation there. Work with him, he'll work with you. It just looks bad. Okay, it looks bad. And remember, Montagraph, you're timed out for 5 minutes. That's it. You're timed out for 5 minutes. That's it. Until I respond to you. Nope. No. Curb your autism. Just curb it. Monty's lawyer admitted Nick called and emailed and that he ignored Nick. Yes, but the question would be Nick called and emailed after he was supposed to answer. That could be a case. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Sorry, math is really hard. No, it was last minute. It was a last minute thing. He screwed up. Should have taken care of it earlier, but again, it's the holidays, whatever. Standards for default judgment are listed here. I'm not going to go over them. Arguments. No, he called and emailed right before Christmas. I believe it's December 20. I'm sorry. December 30th. He says December 30th. I think Nick actually puts in when he did so in his request for an extension. Defendant, a licensed practicing lawyer in the state of Minnesota, has discovered a method to enrich himself by sharing legal advice. Okay, he's not sharing legal advice, so that's wrong. That would be an ethics issue. That would be an ethics issue. So that's a lie. And talking about lawsuits during video shows published on the internet, those of us who will recall attorney William F. Buckley and his TV show Firing Line may also recall how such shows would devolve into shouting matches or become mired in the mundane. I mean, yeah. I mean, reading over legal stuff is boring. Look at this. The only interesting thing to have happened is Montagraph literally losing his fucking shit in my chat because I'm talking about the lawsuit. I'm just saying. This is boring. That less so. They were easily switched off. In contrast, defendant has subtly introduced humor and hyperbole during portions of episodes. Shouldn't mention humor and hyperbole. However, during the same episode, defendant will segue to serious legal analysis. Defendant sometimes engages in a segment he calls law-splaining, where he discusses law while drinking Scotch whiskey and appears to become intoxicated while doing so. There's no appears. He definitely does. He's gotten drunk. Defendant is certainly entitled to work in any capacity permitted by law or work as an entertainer, and he is certainly entitled to express himself as permitted by the First Amendment. So talk to yourself, I'll respond to you IRL. That is all. You are boring and wrong on your false accusations. Look, I am boring. What you all are doing here watching me read over this, I have no idea. I have no idea what the fuck is wrong with you. Okay? Wrong on false accusations or whatever. Not so much. I don't think I am. I'm reading over your stuff, and based on things you have said, based on things you have done, based on those things, I'm looking at this. Okay, that's all I'm saying. All this is based off of what you've put in writing, what you have produced yourself, and what you have said. I'm taking what you have said and what you've written, what you've produced, and saying, look, this is what I see, this is what I think. I think you're an idiot. People think I'm an idiot. A lot of people think I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. I'm an idiot for a lot of reasons. But I'm not losing my fucking mind anytime somebody's like, you're an idiot. I'm not doing it. Because I grew up. Right? I'm almost 37 years old. I'm almost 37 years old. I didn't really have a childhood. I was raised by a Navyman, a sailor. Don't have much of a childhood when your father is in the Navy. When I got older, I had to get older very quickly. I had to mature quickly. It really hasn't worked, but here you are. I'm kind of living out my life as a child now in many ways, right? I am. I'm not losing my shit over people calling me a fucking idiot, a fucking retard, every name under the sun. And I've been called every name under the sun. I don't lose my mind over it. Montagraph, the ignore button works. I know. I use it when somebody gets really annoying, and it pisses them off because they want you to respond to them. That's basically what you're doing right now. It's what you're doing right now. You're acting like a child. This is why people think you're schizophrenic. This is why people think you're fucking insane. Because one person says something that is even remotely critical of you, and you spurg the fuck out. You lose your fucking mind. This is why. You have no ability to stand back, take the criticism, and self-reflect. I honestly believe it's because you suffer from something like schizophrenia, not a medical diagnosis. I honestly believe that. I think you're an individual who, the thing is that with something like schizophrenia, something like insanity, there can be genius. Some of the smartest people in our time, some of the smartest people who've led to scientific breakthroughs, Nikola Tesla, Edison, were also slightly crazy. That's kind of what artistic license is supposed to give you, right? The ability to be insane, but produce something. But just because you produce something doesn't mean that you can't be criticized for what you've produced. It doesn't work like that. It can't work like that. Spectre oversharing, the usual. Yeah. Look at where you are right now. Okay? You're in a fucking chat of somebody who had my peak. I think my peak was 25 people watching. Okay? My peak concurrent viewers. Spurging and losing your fucking mind over me reading this over. Injecting my opinion, because that's what it is. It's opinion. I'm not saying any of this is fact. Other than the watermelon thing. Okay? That's jokes. That's comedy. That's hyperbole. Protected by the First Amendment. This is why I think your lawsuit is doomed, and that's why I think you filed this to get clout. Okay? You're doing this for attention, for clout. You can respond to me all you want. I'm not going to lose my fucking mind. When new filings come out, I'll probably read over them. Your response won't matter to me. Because I kind of grew up. Anyways. The action does not seek to restrict the right of free expression, only the hurtful, defamatory statements made concerning plaintiff. The hurtful statements. There's nothing that's really defamatory. Right? Again, calling somebody a pedophile is more opinion than facts. Unless you say, look, he X, Y, and Z, ergo pedophile. And even then, that might be protected because you're showing what you're basing it off of, right? Monty's going to be responsible for the next Sandy Hook. No, we're not going to say that. We're not going to say that stuff. Noting the above, defendant has abused his right to speak freely, and he has repeatedly injured plaintiff. He has failed to retract his mean-spirited and defamatory statements. Mean-spirited statements do not have to be retracted. You don't have to like them. You don't even have to listen to them. Okay? My honest opinion, I think, is that Nick is probably the most recent, the largest person to talk about him. And that's why he's going after Nick now. Most concerning is the inference that plaintiff is a pedophile. Inference that plaintiff is a pedophile. On October 23rd, 2022, defendant stated plaintiff, quote, has always been into sucking little boys' cocks, end quote, and that plaintiff is a faggot, and, quote, should probably be shot in the fucking head, end quote. That'd be like hyperbole. As you've mentioned, he does engage in hyperbole. But you didn't put that in your complaint. You didn't amend your complaint. Just saying. Probably should have put that in there. Because your complaint fails on a couple of reasons. But, there's that. Plaintiff is not a pedophile and has never been so charged or convicted. Being a pedophile is not illegal. It's a sexual attraction to underage people, or underage children, namely children who have not gone through puberty. Pedophilia is a sexual attraction. It's a psychological term, not a criminal term. This is something that people don't seem to understand. It's a psychological term. It's a medical term, actually. So that doesn't work. You can't be charged and convicted for pedophilia. You can be charged for lewd and lascivious conduct, possession of child pornography, sexual assault on a child, enticement, etc., etc. But pedophilia itself is not a crime. I had to explain that during the Preston Poulter lawsuit, too. Kid effer then. Yeah, that even then it could be construed as hyperbole. Like we talk about Tyro Inchwit or whatever, Inchoate or whatever. John Lee Baird is a kid fucker. He was convicted of it. By the way, that's not Montagraph. John Lee Baird is not Montagraph. Let's see. Plaintiff is not a pedophile and has never been so charged or convicted. Statements are defamatory per se if they falsely accuse a person of a crime. Pedophilia is not a crime. Show me the statute which says that having a sexual attraction to a child is a crime, and I will gladly concede that. Gladly, insofar as I will concede the point. Not that I am happy that, I was proven wrong on this one. Okay. Let me see. Statements are defamatory per se if they false or having a loathsome disease. I mean, it is a loathsome disease, but it's not a disease like herpes or HIV or gonosyphil herpes, which I'm assuming Montagraph doesn't have because he ain't getting laid. Let's be completely honest here. Let's see. Or of unchastity, or if they refer to improper or incompetent conduct involving a person's business, trade, or profession. None of that would count. So, bye. With regard to false, and obviously, this motion for default no longer matters. Just saying that right now. But we're reading over it because it was filed. With regard to false accusation of a crime, the words need not carry upon their face a direct imputation of crime. Again, let's see. Oh God. And now my screen, I got to the point, it's 9 o'clock, which means my screen's blue light filter started to kick in, and it always throws me for a loop. You can't see it. I can. I can see it. It is sufficient if the word spoken in the ordinary acceptance would naturally presumably be understood in the connection and under the circumstances in which they are used to impute a charge of crime. Again, not really. Being accused of pedophilia is not a crime. Being accused of being a Monty is the Zika virus. I haven't heard a lot about Zika virus in quite a few years now. Whatever happened to that thing? Did it create more Benjamin Button babies? That's a good question. I'm going to have to look that up. In accordance with this principle, courts have held that statements that impute serious sexual misconduct are defamatory per se. SUV Paramount Pictures. Blah, blah, blah. Stating that statements that are actionable because they impute serious sexual misconduct may also be actionable under the rule. The statements that impute a crime are defamatory per se. The test is not whether the defendant intended to make an accusation, but whether a reasonable person under similar circumstances would understand the statement as making an accusation or imputing criminal serious sexual misconduct to another. The test is whether a reasonable person would believe the statement to be defamatory. Defendant, for some reason unknown to your author, doesn't even have the sense or decency to couch comments in the form of an opinion. He has consistently. What I'm saying here is all opinion, right? Now, I could pull up, if I wanted to get my channel struck, the stuff he put up, right? I could. And say, this is what I base it off of. All this is based off of opinion. After all, statements of pure opinion are not actionable in defamation. Rather, only statements that present or imply the existence of a fact that can be proven true or false are actionable under state defamation laws. Minnesota courts consider blah, blah, blah. Under a Bebo analysis, defendant has uttered what he wants his viewers to believe are factual statements, not opinions. If you watch Rekieta, you know when he's telling a fact and when he's telling an opinion. And when he's saying something like, you're a fucking pedophile, normally is an opinion, right? Except with Keffels, definitely a pedophile. When you're saying you're going to send HRT to children without their parents' consent and without medical, without a medical supervision, there's questions. There's questions. Second, such statements can be verified. Indeed, they are recorded and presented to this court as Exhibit B. Indeed, the court may independently access a computer, go online, and view these episodes sua sponte. Arguably, defendant continues to defame plaintiff every time an archived episode is watched. That's not going to work. That one definitely not going to work. Finally, as to the third and fourth factors regarding the context in which these statements were made, the videos of Rekieta Law LLC, Rekieta Media LLC, involve significant legal explanation and analysis by at least one, and often more than one, practicing lawyer. The hyperparabolic, I think that's supposed to be one word. Now I need to. Hyperparabolic. Yeah, hyperparabolic is something something completely different. I think it has to do with science. Don't know. Don't do science. Don't do math. You meant hyperbolic, which is one word, but it's possible. Spell check kicked him in the dick. Possible. Microsoft Word sucks. Get open office. The show is owned by Rekieta Media LLC. Fucking idiot Monty. Yep. Yes, it is. It is. And as I said, I fully expect Nick to harp on about that. Call into question jurisdiction for the entire thing. Defendant hasn't answered the complaint. Minnesota Rules of Civil Procedure sets forth the standard for default. Over 20 days have elapsed since defendant was served, and considering additional time to respond, given weekend and holidays as set forth in blah, 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 the defendant's answer is overdue, while litigants and their lawyers routinely grant extensions to answer pleadings, especially when the lawyers are hard-pressed to meet deadlines due to excessive work, inadequate staff, illnesses, the holidays. While litigants and their lawyers routinely grant extensions to answer pleadings, especially when the lawyers are hard-pressed to meet deadlines due to excessive work, inadequate staff, illness, the holidays, etc., no law, right, or custom permits an inference such extension is automatically granted. And he didn't assume it was automatically granted. He was trying to contact you, and you ignored him. You ignored him. Your secretary didn't tell him, hey, he's out of the office. I don't know what to tell you. I can't give you any legal advice because I am a fucking legal secretary. She apparently didn't pass it on to fucking you, right? Probably because you were like, oh, whatever. And God help you if it turns out that she did and you were just like, fuck it, whatever. In the case at bar, defendant was served through personal service, but no answer has been served upon plaintiff. Indeed, if one accepts the commentary defendant on his most recent broadcast, he hasn't actually retained his prospective lawyer to open a file. Again, because the lawyer isn't licensed to practice in Minnesota, he hasn't been pro-hocked in, hence why he couldn't. That's why Nick had to respond pro se. The question begs, defendant is a lawyer and perfectly capable of drafting and serving an answer. Why is defendant spending time creating videos and publishing them on the internet when he could have spent an hour or two simply answering the complaint? Did it take you an hour or two to file this complaint, to draft the complaint and file it? Guarantee you it didn't. And Nick wasn't going to do a general denial where he could do something as stupid as deny his own fucking name, deny his own address, deny his, the fact that he's a lawyer. General denial probably could have been was an option, and he has 21 days after that to amend his complaint or his answer, and there you go. Sure, he could have done that, but it probably would have been really stupid. He tried to go to you and work with you, and you decided to be the asshole. I'm talking to the lawyer here, not Montagraph. Montagraph has, as far as I know, nothing to do with that, unless he told his lawyer, no, fuck that guy. And he probably told him, no, fuck that guy. But the lawyer in this case is the asshole. Your author pauses. Defendant's delay is intentional. After all, defendant's lack of action is worthy of discussion on his videos, which will draw the attention of more viewers. No. More viewers leads to more fame, prestige, and more income for defendant. Could the same not be said for Monty? Counsel for plaintiff has viewed the videos on Exhibit B and others. Defendant alludes to opening crowdsourcing of GoFundMe accounts to raise money where viewers can donate money to defendant's defense. He has considered it. I don't believe he has said he will. Defendant also appears to be selling ad time to those companies who pay for the privilege of displaying advertisements during defendant's videos. Yes, and Monty tried to Karen that one with Birch Gold and failed. Because failure is what Monty knows best. Again, another source of income. In summary, defendant is enriched by controversy. Okay, let's back up. He would get those ad reads and ad time regardless of if he responded or not. Make that very clear. In summary, defendant is enriched by controversy. Thus, he likely does not want to answer the complaint. No, I think he does. He's just waiting for his attorney to get pro-hocked in. After all, motion practice may be exciting, and defendant will have more to discuss on his video, which again generate income. The behavior of Alex Jones following the Sandy Hook murder comes to mind. Go fuck yourself on that one, by the way. Plaintiff argues the court should grant plaintiff's motion that defendant is in default and plaintiff is entitled to judgment. However, Plaintiff argues the court should grant plaintiff's motion that defendant is in default and plaintiff entitled to judgment. However, then the matter should be scheduled anew or a later date after a period of time for discovery is completed, where plaintiff will present evidence to the court to justify the monetary judgment. In the matter of bar, plaintiff demanded an amount in excess of $50,000. Thus, entry of judgment should be by the court as opposed to the court administrator. At the second hearing, plaintiff will offer additional evidence of instances of defamation, as well as statutory damages and evidence of actual compensatory damages. Blah, blah, blah. Defendant is a local lawyer who has become famous on the internet, blah, blah, blah. Court should order judgment in favor of plaintiff against defendant. So after that, we have Nick's motion for an extension. Obviously, motion for default, whatever. Defendants, Nicholas Rekieta and Rekieta Law LLC. He's, I guess because his law firm was mentioned, he's going to do this. Move for an extension of time to file an answer and or move to dismiss the claims of this action. Defendants made reasonable efforts to request an extension with plaintiff's counsel, including an email and multiple phone calls and messages left at counsel's office via voicemail and with a receptionist. Facts. The defendant was served in person on December 13th, 2022 by the Kandiyohi County Sheriff's Office. Defendant has learned that service was also attempted on mail, but to an improper address on December 12th. Apparently, they tried to serve him at his previous address. Defendant had multiple days of travel over the holiday and was unable to obtain counsel during the Christmas season, which also includes defendant's birthday and one of defendant's children's birthdays. Valid points. He's traveling. He's not going to cut his, he might be in the process of traveling or he's got plans set up. He's not going to stop because of a lawsuit. Understandable, And it's the holidays. Again, in the military, you have block leave and stuff happen, especially around the holidays, where pretty much the entire unit is gone for like 2 weeks, a month, whatever. Usually the week leading up to Christmas and after, New Year's. Usually happens, right? Why would it be any different for civilians? Like attorneys, who can afford to do that? Who cares, right? Courts aren't going to really be in session. They're not going to be doing too much litigation. That's a great time to just unwind. Have time with the family. Okay? Defendant called plaintiff's counsel's law office on December 30th to request amicable extension of time to respond given the hectic nature of the holidays. Defendant left a voicemail for David Schneider and also informed Mr. Schneider that defendant would follow up with an email making the same request. Defendant sent an email on December 30th, 2022 at 2:29 p.m. Central Time to David Schneider requesting extension of time to retain counsel and answer until January 31st, 2023. Defendant did not receive any indication that David Schneider was out of the office on vacation. Again, receptionist doesn't say anything. Nobody says anything. Nobody picks up the phone and goes, hey, he's out of the office. Apparently there was no voicemail saying, you've reached the law offices of David Schneider, Esquire. I'm out of the office for the holidays. If you have a complaint, I don't care. I'm out of the fucking for the holidays, right? Then Nick would have known, okay, I should probably file something with the court. He should have done that to begin with. I'll grant you, but he didn't. He's kind of playing catch up now. Defendant made a follow-up inquiry on January 5th by telephone to plaintiff's counsel. This would put him outside, I think, the 20 days to answer. He should have had something drafted and filed with the court prior to this. No excuse for it. Okay, criticism where it's due. Nick knows better. Nick should have done something. But if he was out of town, okay. Defendant made another call on January 12th. At this point, he should have had something filed with the court. It was told Mr. Schneider was unavailable. The defendant identified himself as an adverse party and informed the receptionist that he had attempted calling multiple times and sent an email to Mr. Schneider requesting an extension of time. On January 13th, the defendant physically went to the law office of Mr. Schneider as telephonic and electronic attempts to communicate had failed. Mr. Schneider was unavailable at the time. The question now becomes, why was he unavailable? Was he ducking Rekieta at that point? Court might want to know that. And I've seen people say he showed up at the office like a fucking psycho and ignored the parts where he tried calling and leaving emails trying to get a response. Okay, again, this is what I mean by people take something and then blow it out of proportion for a narrative. This is what I mean. This is why I can't trust like most of the shit that's being said. You look at this, you read over this. Fuck what other people are saying at this point. The defendant still has not received a response from Mr. Schneider via phone or email. At no time has Mr. Schneider or his office communicated with plaintiff any unavailability due to travel, nor has any explanation been offered for a refusal to return communications made in good faith. Defendant timely requested in good faith for a reasonable extension of time to retain counsel and answer in this action due to the timing of service in the hectic holiday schedule. Defendant attempted to follow up with plaintiff's counsel multiple times to avoid court intervention. At no point did plaintiff's counsel nor his office indicated extended unavailability, English is hard, or even return a single communication. Defendant requests simply for an extension of time until January 31st to answer the complaint due to the holiday season. Okay, there you go. Boom. That's the response. Here's the motion, or here's the decision. Defendants are granted extension of time to answer complaint until January 31st. Defendant is ordered to pay reasonable cost to plaintiff directly related to the late request for extension. I don't think the court should have given this to Monty's attorneys. Should not have been given. Nick could fight it. He might. However, this should not have been granted because Nick can show I tried to work with them. Okay? I tried to work with them and they ignored me. Court should have been looking at them going, why'd you ignore him? Okay, he tried to work with you. I would have been like, I will require him to pay the $75 for the motion to be filed. That's it. Okay, that'd be like the sanction. Slap on the wrist. Okay, Nick gets a small sanction for being late and gay. That's it. So that's what we have. That's literally everything we have. Nothing spectacular. I would argue that everything written through this was a clusterfuck, especially from Monty's side. Nick didn't put the best in. He didn't cite to the law. I probably would have cited to the law as to why an extension should be granted. Probably should have done that, but hey, what are you going to do? Okay. That's Nick's call. That is 100% Nick's call if he wants to show it or not. So, nothing I'm seeing I see that chat has gone quiet. So, I'm assuming there's no questions. I'll give it like a minute or two. Let you guys ask questions if you have any. I see Monty has curbed his autism. He probably took whatever horse tranquilizers he takes and went to bed. So, if we get it, Monty wrote this retarded brief and paid a lawyer to file it for him? Probably. As I said, it makes Preston Poulter's filing look competent. It makes Maddox's filings look competent. Which should tell you all you need to know about it, in my humble opinion. In my humble fucking opinion. He manages to make them look competent. I just wanted to shit on Monty Boy. Yeah. Sorry, I just been listening. I don't have any questions. Okay, well, nobody's got any questions. You guys have a good day. I'm going to go back to making my dinner. It's in the crock pot. I need to pull it out, cut up the chicken, and put the dumplings and everything in. So you guys have a good one. Anything happens, I'm paying attention to the Andriacchio v. Yax. I'm hoping something comes down soon on that, and when it does, I will personally bring that up. But enjoy your day, guys. Enjoy the rest of the week. I'm Spectre. Thanks for watching, guys.